Hi, I'm Sam Witte, and this is the Chapter 3 video board for Tech and Society over information technologies. So basically, what information technology is technology that helps you perform tasks and relays information from one place to the other. Pretty much, we're talking about cell phones nowadays and computers and the rise of the internet back in the day and all that jazz, networking, all that. And so the importance and the application of electromagnetic waves through this is pretty much that electromagnetic waves tie into everything. So, I mean, they're in high-speed trains nowadays. They're what shoot them across the rails. And cell phones, that's how we talk to one another on our cell phones. It uses electromagnetic waves to transfer your voice into radio waves into another phone, no matter how far away. When it comes out the other end is your voice. Alright, MRI scanners, it ties everything in. Speakers, TVs, wireless devices, all that, they use electromagnetic waves. And so it's anywhere you go, everywhere you go, it's all in the air as we speak. It just goes through us, goes through buildings. I mean, it does whatever it wants to. We really can't control it. But there are several different wavelengths, I guess, of electromagnetic waves, ranging from cosmic rays that are out in the cosmos, outer space and stuff, all the way to electric power, which is what we generate on Earth to run our houses and my laptop, everything I'm using right now. So from cosmic rays, we head on to gamma rays, the stuff that made the Hulk. X-rays, so you can see our bones and stuff if we break them. Ultraviolet rays, and then there's a small space in between ultraviolet rays and infrared rays, which we see using our eyes as visible light. And this is every color in the rainbow, yada yada yada. But this is the small portion that only we can see. And to see, infrared or see an ultraviolet, all that jazz, we need, goggles to help us see those different wavelengths and translate those wavelengths into visible light that we can actually see. So after visible light, you have infrared, and you have microwaves, stuff you use to heat your food, and then you have radio waves, what you listen to in your car while you're jamming on your way to work, and then you have electrical power, which, like I said earlier, is the ending of all this, and that's what runs through your power lines and everything like that. So those are kind of the importance and the applications of electromagnetic waves, and as far as the chart goes, that's all that. So with the two articles that we're supposed to read, they're pretty much describing radio frequency radiation and how it can affect the body. So first of all, electric and magnetic fields, what are they? They're invisible areas of energy, also known as radiation. Alright, there are non-ionizing and ionizing, which means ionizing means it can move atoms. So, like X-rays X-rays and I guess gamma rays, which they use in radiation therapy for cancer and stuff. They shoot it, and it has such high energy that it is able to disrupt atoms within a molecule. So it'll pop off an electron into, if it hits a molecule for long enough. And then there's non-ionizing, obviously, which is like radio waves, which as they're being sent through the air, it goes through the air just enough, and it has just enough power to rattle those molecules, but nothing more, nothing less. And it vibrates them as it goes through the air. And then there's natural and human-made EMFs. And so the natural is like the Earth's magnetic field. If you ever used a compass before, the compass automatically points north as long as you're not over anything metal or magnetic. So that would be the Earth's magnetic field, is something that's a natural, non-ionizing EMF. Human-made, it's like power lines. We made them. They have energy sourcing through them and all that. So that would be a human-made example. The next article is radio frequencies and how they affect the body. And so what I got from that, I guess, is radio waves, if they're high enough energy, can obviously hurt somebody. If they're exposed to high enough radio waves, like it says in the video that I'm going to talk about later, it can be damaging. It was saying how people have received burns who have worked too close in factories or power plants or something dealing with radio waves or whatever. They received second, third degree burns from this radio waves hitting them at a close proximity with so much power. But usually you don't have to worry about radio waves, and they're not going to hurt you that much because obviously they're all around us. So in the videos, as far as the videos, one lady was talking about how wireless radiation causes cancer. Electromagnetic and wireless radiation have been associated with diabetes and all sorts of other diseases. And she was just kind of calling a notice to this at the 5G meeting. And she was saying how cell towers being located too close to homes and other buildings that involve a lot of people can be very harmful and dangerous, and that this should be classified as an epidemic, and we should fix all this, and we should move radio towers and all this other stuff because it is actually hurting people. It's causing cancer, it's causing diabetes, and all this was shown in lab tests that they did with rats. And then the next video was about the graphic user interface involving Steve Jobs and how he didn't discover it, but he utilized what Xerox had set up already. He utilized it and pretty much transformed the whole computer industry, because we all know how he started Apple in the 1970s, Apple computers, and Apple computers took off with the Apple Computer 2 or whatever, and then but Xerox had created a computer interface, and Xerox had also created PARC. And what PARC was is pretty much a whole bunch of computer programmers getting together and brainstorming on what could be the future of the internet and all this technology coming into play. So yeah, they developed that, and when Steve Jobs took a tour of PARC, was invited to take a tour after he had already become famous for Apple computers, he got shown three things, and the one that stuck out to him the most was the graphic user interface. The mouse, the easy windows that open up. Everything you see on your computer now is the graphic user interface. And so he took that and rolled with it, and he made sure all of his programmers at Apple got a tour of this graphic user interface at Xerox, and he took their idea, rolled with it, and made it what it is today. What every laptop, what every computer, even your phone sometimes, depending on the company, what they use or how it works, and just the setup of the whole computer. I mean, it's crazy to think that just because Steve Jobs utilized what Xerox had already come up with, Xerox and PARC had already come up with, that he's even more famous than what he was. Apple might not have been a thing if PARC and Xerox had been in the computer industry instead of the paper industry beforehand, and had just utilized what they had come up with and made it even better, and actually put out a computer with this in it, sold a computer, because honestly, Xerox and PARC had come up with the first computer, it just wasn't for sale. And so it's just crazy how much history could have changed based on one little thing that a company did, and based on if Steve Jobs had never gotten this tour or anything like that, or if Bill Gates had gotten the tour before Steve Jobs or anything like that. So it's just mind-blowing, really, on how much technology has changed our lives and what it can help us do, but also the effects it is having on everything as well. Because as technology advances, as much as we gain, it can also hurt us just as much, as you can see with cancer and all that jazz. So that is pretty much what information technologies in this chapter 3 was about. Thank you for listening.